Welcome to Coffee with the County, the only podcast in Hernando County where you learn about coffee and all the local happenings in your community. Let's plug in and get connected with your local government. Hi everyone, I'm Dominique Holmes. I'm the Public Information Officer for Hernando County Government, and our very special guest with us today is County Commissioner and Chairwoman of the Board of County Commissioners, Beth Narverud. Thanks for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me. It's my pleasure to be here. I'm very excited when we start something new for our community.
Yay! Well, let's start off with our coffee cups, since this is Coffee with the County. I brought my Rise and Shine handy dandy cup that I love to use in the mornings, and I see here you have a very special cup.
I do. I have a very, very special cup. So I think, as most of you know, I moved here in the 80s. Not to date myself by any means. But anyway, I moved here in the 80s, and I became friends with a lot of people, and some of which I still have those same friendships. And this cup I was given from one of those friends from book club. And you'll see on the book, and she personalized it. It says Beth on the little coffee cup inside, and she made sure the pajamas matched things that were important to me in the book, and she made the hair color match as well. And green is my favorite color, but one of the things I like the best is that she put a saying on here that I thought was pretty special, and it says, "Be what nobody else can ever be, and that's yourself." So that's my message to all the girls out there. Stop worrying about what other people think and just be you, because you know what, you're special. So I love this cup, and I take it with me everywhere. You'll always see it up on the dais when we're up there in our board meetings and stuff. It keeps my coffee nice and warm all day long.
Amazing.
So I just love it.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
What a great message too. And I love the green. It's very colorful and sparkly.
Yeah, it is sparkly. It's kind of like emeralds. It makes me feel like a little bit of royalty.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Well, I have a fun coffee fact for you. Did you know that coffee is actually a fruit? So by the technical botanical definition of a fruit is a part of the plant that contains seeds. So coffee trees do produce berries. Green coffee beans are the pit of the coffee berry, and red coffee beans are the actual seeds inside of it.
Oh, wow. That's
right?
very interesting. I had no idea about that.
Yes.
That's kind of, you know what, they do look a little bit like a fig to me. I don't know why. Yeah, so I guess that would make them kind of fruity.
Yeah, exactly.
That works.
Have you ever had, I feel like these are so good, it's been so long since I've had one, but a coffee bean that's covered in chocolate?
Yes.
Oh.
They used to do those in cappuccinos.
Yes.
And then also I know that some people do it in, it's in a shot of liquor. They drop a couple of coffee beans. It's an Italian thing. Yeah, but it was interesting. I thought it was anisette. It's with anisette that they do coffee, and I think it's the licorice coffee balance or something.
Gotcha. That's
that
fun.
Really
That's another fun fact too.
Yeah, fun facts. Fun facts. Who knew?
Yes. So talking about your time right now, currently as chairwoman of the Board of County Commissioners, what are some things about the county that you look forward to this upcoming year?
Oh gosh, one of the biggest things I look forward to is improving our animal services and community services as a whole. But animal services has a special spot for me, and I love animals. I can't help it.
I do too. Who doesn't?
And I actually had to tape roll myself when I first sat down in case. I had pet hair everywhere because I can't help it. You know, the pet hair, I actually thinking that I had visited with a friend earlier this morning, and they had a dog, and I must have thrown the ball 1,000 times. This dog just wanted to keep chasing it. I just love them. They say, dog is God backwards.
Aww.
And I think there's no mistake, because you get unconditional love from both, right? So I think that that's something that you keep in mind. And when you look at all these little furry friends that we have in our animal services, it is our job to do the best we can for them. And I understand, I'm a realist. I know that not every animal can be saved, but I think we can do a better job. And it's my mission to make sure that we are doing a better job and to move that forward in the direction. And I think most of the community agree that it's important. So I think before you go to these puppy mills and all of these places, just always look to animal services first, because there are pets there that are just absolutely beautiful, looking for a loving home, and you could be that for them. And I think that would, make your heart a little bit fuller. So, consider going to animal services before, going out and purchasing pets, because there are so many that need homes.
Well, one of the things that I really enjoy that your brilliant idea you came forward with during Board of County Commissioner meetings, we take breaks.
Yes,
and when we take breaks, we now have this video that plays during the break, and it shows adoptable pets. You can see the adoptable cats and dogs, and it's kind of on rotate. It has information on animal services. I love that, so people that are tuning in can get connected and maybe take home a pet.
Yes, I have 5 of them.
Wow.
You know, so
I love that.
Yes, and all of them are from animal service except for one I found on the side of the road.
Aww.
And that was a little kitten that somebody had dumped, and I picked it up and just took it home with me and just love her to death. But I tell you, it's just important. I mean, honestly, I feel like my kids are gone, so I was kind of an empty nester, and I refilled it with pets. They're a little less trouble, but still sometimes a little trouble. But the thing is, I think what happens in a lot of cases, you know, you see people get a pet and they have unrealistic expectations of those animals, and they don't know that some of the pets, like whether wherever you get them, you know, you get a puppy, you have to train it. You know, you get a pet from animal services, they may have come from a bad situation. They may not have been trained. They may be scared because, you know, their owner has passed away and they just need a new loving home, and they don't know why they're not with their owner, their family. And I think you got to give that little extra step. And, you know, I hope that maybe at some point we can develop some kind of a program that when people do adopt pets, that we have something to help people transition these pets into their families, because pets really are family. Once you bring them home, they're yours. You're not going to take a kid that you haven't thrown out on the street. Unless, of course, he's really bad. But I'm just saying, I think that, you know, you got to give these pets sometimes a little bit of extra time and a little extra love to get over what they've been through, because it's through no fault of their own that they were put in those positions. And, you know, I just know we have such a loving community here that all of you are hearing me and going out to animal services right now to get some pets. That would be awesome.
Yeah, just some TLC, you know.
Yeah, for sure. So that's something that's near and dear to me. I mean, honestly, you know, we want to get the traffic under control in the community, but the costs of everything have really, really gone through the roof. You know, like, I mean, a simple traffic light, you know, is like $1 million now. And I mean, seriously, I'm not just throwing that out there. I asked the other day again, are we sure it's $1 million? And the answer was yes. And I mean, I don't know if they're plating the inside of those light bulbs with gold. I'm not really sure why they cost so much, but it does. And the cost of everything is so high that it's really hard to stretch the funding to get everything done we want to get done and that we know needs to be done. But just know that the commission is working on it. We're trying on it. I know we're going to be hopefully looking for a sales tax. So this way it's a consumption tax and it's paid by everybody who comes in and uses our roads in this county, not just the residents. We're trying to get that burden off the residents' back and try to get it to where it needs to be, to the areas that it needs to go. So I think that's something that we're going to be moving forward with. So stay tuned for that kind of information. And hopefully we'll have your support. We're trying to be really good stewards with the money. I know one of the things when I had campaigned a while back was that I wanted to get our millage rate back down to what it was before they raised it about 5 years ago. And we did that. We brought it down for all 4 years that I've been in the budget cycle and setting millage. We were able to lower millage each time. Now, granted, property values went up and a lot of people have you know, reap the rewards of that. But, you know, you also get the other side of the coin where your property values are more, you do pay more in taxes because of that, because you just have more people coming to the community and we have to get these roads and everything else done.
Yeah, so. Well, I'm glad that you highlighted that, because I feel like, at least for the public information standpoint, we do get a lot of questions on taxes, and the general fund millage has gone down 4 years in a row. It has been reduced to the point where now it's back below what it was when it was raised 5 years ago.
Yes.
So the past 4 years, the commission has voted and has continuously reduced the general millage. So thank you for bringing that to attention, because I feel like that's a lot of questions that we sometimes see in the community, not really fully understanding the trim notice or property taxes and how all of that works. Right? So,
and it's hard because, you know, the cost of everything, the cost of living, you go to the grocery store, I mean, you're walking home with 2 bags for, you know, $80 instead of, you know, a cart full. Everything's gone up, and it's tough, and I know it's really tough on our seniors that have the fixed incomes, but most people have fixed incomes. It's not like they can give themselves a raise, even though the cost of everything else has gone up. They're still making the same wages as well. So it's across the board. Everybody's hurting a bit, and we recognize that. So hence why we really want to push forward with the sales tax as a consumption tax rather than putting it again on the backs of the homeowners to keep up with what has to be done in the county. If we don't take care of our parks, people get upset. So we are trying to take care of a lot of the community services, because we know that, that's something you feel every day. You know, getting a new pump station for water out on the east side of the county may not be that pretty thing that you want to hear about, and it doesn't really affect you. But when you see new playgrounds going in that are compliant in ADA so all kids can enjoy it, and you go to the ball fields and you see all the families spending time together, you know, it kind of warms your heart. And that's the thing, you know, one of the things I love about Hernando County is the heart that we have here. I've been coming here since 1970. I have family that's lived here and opened a business in 1970s, you know, celebrating 54 years this year of being open in Hernando County. So I've been coming down here since I'm 6, and yes, that means I'm really old, I'm sorry, but anyway, so I've been coming down here a really long time, and I've watched this county grow. I mean, in fact, at one point I had to draw all the roads. We were growing so fast that all these new roads were coming in, and I used to own Domino's Pizza, and we had 30 minutes for free, so it was a little crazy, you know, trying to make sure we could get to where we're going, because all of a sudden there was all these new roads. And we're kind of having a similar boom now, where everybody's coming here, and we're growing fast, and we are getting new roads, and those new roads connect to other roads that have been here that are not wide enough for the traffic, and we see it, and we get stuck in the same traffic you do. So we're not happy about it, and we're watching it, and we're working on it, and we're doing the best we can, trying to get some, you know, state funding to help us, trying to switch some things off to federal if we can, to hopefully get some of the interstates taken care of, and you know, swap out maybe County Line Road so that it's not a constant dispute between Pasco and Hernando County as to who's responsible for the traffic. But I mean, I just think that, you know, working together, we can do anything. And that's the whole thing. We can't get divided. We can't get divided by, I'm going to call it anti-social media. You know,
I love that.
Well, I'm telling you, it's a little crazy, because there's stuff that gets put out there and it's not necessarily true. It may have started true, but it's like the telephone game. And as it progresses, people start adding to it and embellishing what it is. And then it becomes this big thing that didn't really happen. You know, so before you get crazy, call any of the commissioners. We serve countywide, and any one of us can answer questions for you, and would be glad to call you back, sit down and have a cup of coffee with you, and you know, chit chat about, you know, what concerns you have. You know, I mean, I have people calling me. I have people that were, you know, people that would just call me up about something that call me now on a regular basis, and we just have a chat, you know, just to hear how things are going on in their neighborhoods and stuff like that. And we need that feedback from you.
Yeah, and part of it too is, which is really great, the relationships you have within the county, where you can direct to a different department that might be able to assist the issue or address any type of concerns that they do have, right? So it's good for you to get that feedback and communicate, and you do such a great job of letting us know, you know, and representing the citizens and all of that. So we appreciate.
Yeah, well, you know, when people say, who do you work for? You know, I always want to put down the Hernando County citizens, because truly you're the ones who put us in this seat, and hopefully keep us in the seat. We work for you. And so when people say, oh, I didn't want to bother you, I'm like, I'm here to be bothered. That's my job. My job is to help you and help you navigate sometimes the web of 20 people you have to talk to get a shed put into your yard. You know, whatever we can do to assist, we try to do that. And if you're struggling, just let us know. If we can help you, we will. And if we can't help you, we'll find somebody that can help you.
Exactly.
So yeah, so it's important.
Yeah, absolutely. And so for the county commission, for Hernando County, we have 5 commissioners.
Yes.
And you represent District
1.
Yes. And so with that being said, and I think something to, just for the listeners to know, some people might say, oh, well, I live in District 1 or I don't live in District 1, how all the voting works. So if you are a Hernando County citizen, all the commissioners for all the districts are going to be on your ballot. So just because you represent District 1, you also represent all the citizens.
Right. We serve at large, which means we represent everyone. So any commissioner can help you with a problem. Typically, you'll go to the commissioner in your district because they're nearby and they probably know what you're talking about because they live in your neighborhood. You're going to run into me at the grocery store, you know, and you're going to run into me around town.
That's
so they
my
don't,
Publix, right?
They don't, yeah, exactly. They don't want everybody on one side of the county and then thereby making decisions based upon what they see every day because they don't see what's going on over here. So I think it's important that we're scattered about so we see a little bit of everything. Some of the districts are really quite wide. Mine is the smallest district, but it's the same number of people. The population is the same. So I have more residents in a smaller space. than say, you know, Commissioner Laco, who's in District 3, where it's a very wide open district and it goes long.
More north side of the county.
And then also like Commissioner Champion, who has a really wide, long district, because he goes out way into the rural areas where there's, you know, really large farms and all of that, and that's all on him, and they may be miles apart, you know, so it's a much bigger district. But I think we've got a great group of commissioners right now. I mean, I'm proud to be the chair and leading the gentleman in the work that we're doing, because I think we've got some great business minds that, you know, I think every one of us has owned our own business. So we're cognizant to, you know, the business decisions that have to be made on the, you know, in the best interest of our clients, which are the residents of this county, and watching those dollars and looking at the bottom lines. I know sometimes we get a little in the weeds in our meetings, because we just want to make sure that when we're making a decision to let somebody do something, that it's not going to hurt other people. You know, there are decisions, though, you have to understand when it comes to planning and zoning and people coming in these communities with the small little lots and all these people. A lot of those decisions were made 10 years ago, and if the person comes back now and wants to complete that project, if they don't make changes, we can't really do anything about it. It is what it is. So we have the task of doing that same thing now, the people that are planning. Some districts, some things we'll decide will get done right now. Other things may not actually happen. Even though we've said it's okay, you know, it may not happen for 10, 15 years down the road.
Yeah.
So they just have to renew a couple of little things, but if they don't make changes, it doesn't come back before the board to say, hey, no, we don't want that anymore. You know, I know everybody's sick of storage units. I mean, I hear that all the time. Just like back in the day, I was whining about dollar stores, like how many dollar stores do you need? And by the way, they should be $1.25 stores now, because nothing's a dollar, it seems. But I mean, you know, things change, but they keep going. I mean, I think we got some great new businesses coming to town. We've got great growth out by the airport. We've got great economic development by Valerie Pianta. She's doing a wonderful job bringing in better paying jobs for our residents and raising that median income level. So I'm excited. You know, I think we've got great things in the future. I mean, we're having some growing pains, you know, just like you did as a kid, until you get used to what you got to get used to and get a handle on it and move it straight the right way. Just like you do when you're talking to your teenager. Hernando County's a teenager right now, and we're trying to put it in order so that it becomes a responsible adult.
There you go.
That's a great analogy, in my opinion.
I hear you. Yeah, a lot of, you know, great future things in the works, right? So
I think so.
I think that, there's a lot going on in our community, and like you said, you know, we have seen a lot of growth here, and I think the commission is, you know, working really hard, doing a great job, and just communicating with the public of all the things the county is doing. And so one of the things I want the citizens to know, if they ever want to tune in during a Board of County Commissioner meeting, they can either come in person or they can watch online. Right. So anyone can tune in by going to our website, which is hernandocounty.us. And if you just type in /watch now, that will connect you right to our meeting. So I don't know if you knew that. So
I did not know that. I was clicking all over the place that week. I was sick to watch the workshop.
Yep.
Because I didn't want to get everybody else sick. So I was like, all right, I'm going to stay home. And I did find it. I got there and I was able to watch the whole thing. So even though I wasn't there, we weren't making any votes that day. So it was good. I still got the information.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what. So, you know, but I'll say kudos to you. I mean, you've been a great liaison to the people, getting the information out there. I think that's wonderful. I love that this department has expanded and gives our citizens an avenue to find out what's going on and how things are happening. Shout out to our administrator and assistant administrator. I think they are wonderful. I enjoy working with them because I don't feel like I'm constantly looking over my shoulder to say, what are they really doing? They're straightforward with us. They tell us what's going on, what they're doing, why they're doing it. And if we disagree with why they're doing something, you know, they talk to us, and sometimes they can sway me into saying, you know what, that's not a bad idea. You know, maybe we tweak it a little and we get it forward, but you know what, I think they're good planners, and I think they're thinking of the future, and I appreciate that we're being proactive, not just reactive. You know, we always will react, of course, but proaction is always better.
I hear you on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that if any citizens did have any questions, they can always contact the Public Information Department, and we can help connect them to whatever county service that they need to get a hold of. And we're able to assist as well.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping soon that on the website there's like just a button they can click and it takes them to exactly like, what's your question? And then the question links you
Oh, look
to
at that.
Like I would love to see that kind of a link, a little bit of the AI going for us. If we
Right.
could possibly get that
Trying
in
to
there,
help.
that would be great.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I think it's fun.
Well, I love that. I really appreciate you coming on our show. If any citizens do want to get connected, they can go to the county Board of County Commissioner meetings. They are the second and fourth Tuesdays of the month at 9 a.m. In the Judicial Center, which is 20 North Main Street. And then we also have workshops, which is the first
Typically
Tuesday.
the first Tuesday.
Yes.
Yes.
And those also are at 9 a.m., same location. But again, you can always tune in online at www.hernandocounty.us/watch now and get connected with your county commission and your local government. Before we leave, I always like to wrap up with a pun. You mocha me so happy.
That's great. That's
So
great.
thank you for being on our show, Beth.
Well, thank you for having me. Bye, everybody.